Hi, this again is a photo booth. It's actually being done upstairs. This is like a cautionary warning to you, though I'm sure from my brief experience on Facebook, this goes on a lot. People, for instance, get a beautiful woman's picture and portray they obviously are this person, but they're not. So obviously, if they're intending to do criminal activities, you don't put your real photograph. But I've got this individual's name, so it's on here. I say it here on Facebook. Pretty, Pretty, MTTJD. Public health warning. Do not let this person have access. Deny them friendship. Right? I can do the name again, but it's really pretty, as in pretty. MTTJD. Now, the last bit of the message implied that he was a policeman. And the USA, he's good as saying, well, go ahead and report me. I'm a USA policeman. You won't be for long, mate. Yes, I am going to directly contact, because he's very accessible. Oh yeah, I go right to the top. That's what my dad taught me, saying don't muck about with bureaucrats. It could be their idea of a sick joke. Facebook could even be a sick joke. I believe Mr. Trump's got a certain flicker or something. I'm not actually part of it, but it won't take long to flick that. And I will provide him and make it quite clear, in my opinion, such individuals shouldn't be part of it. He's probably not, but it's an excuse. And I certainly advise anyone that comes across that name. She had dark hair, but it isn't her, possibly, and it's supported to be a man. Now I'm going to be quick, because I normally, I've been on Facebook and I didn't do too. I just very quickly said that because they were asking me could I photograph the message. Couldn't see any obvious way to do that. Right, it's on the computer open, so I thought, well, it's going to get lost. I blocked the offending individual, so they couldn't get access to me again and disrupt me. And I did appeal to Facebook to obviously use, if they blocked the person, there should be a way of somehow getting back to who they actually are. Well, I think when I joined Facebook, I did have to give a name and an email. Mind you, could argue it's probably face, forward and slip, false. Not the best way to start, but then I'm being trained. Oh yeah, people have said to me, Graham, if you go live, you're going to get assholes like that actually haggling you. On Facebook it's safe, and you've just got a free rein. You can move in the spirit and just waffle as I've done for about 3 hours. If you've got idiots like that, well, I think that's it now, so I'm prepared. If I go to, I put that out that I'm looking for bookings, but if anyone does want to book me, I will insist that there's adequate security. And if I indicate, it's my decision, sorry, I don't like this level of heckling, I don't think it's funny, I do wish this person to be arrested or whatever, and the police informed, but obviously that's my right, but obviously I will have some kind of security. Rightly so. Anyone that stands up for the light does attract I'm sorry, Rebecca, because I'm not actually on Facebook. I'm actually going through Photo Booth, but I can still get messages coming in saying someone. So basically, Facebook stopped the video. We're unable to process this. I think, with all due respect, if I've got my guides urging me to get on air now, that's what I'm doing, I do it. And so I might have to go through Photo Booth, and when they've perhaps sorted this out or prepared to let me access Facebook again, whatever, it will just be posted. I'm only watching like a hawk the time. Let's sit back, but I've got plenty of time. Now, straight to the bull's horn. I am now at a point I've given people a lot of videos to watch and they can see how I work. If you either appreciate it or not. Admittedly, that's another interesting thing. I can't believe the low numbers that have seen these videos, right? Think it through. I've now got 1,600 odd friends on here. This page, we've got 2. And yet some of my videos, only 20 people have seen. I don't know how it works. Maybe they could have afforded it, but I thought then that can be recorded. So imagine it. It's very discouraging if you feel, and I do, some of these videos are effing brilliant. You know, because obviously I'm growing in my channeling ability and my ability to totally move and in and out of different avenues and all this, and the ability to contain the expressed anger. So I can move in the cutting word, but also bearing in mind that this is a video and some people are going to see it. But obviously now I'm just acting, because I'm not actually speaking to them. Follow me, I'm just using it as an example. I've tempered my swear words, or I did just use CUNT to this individual, policeman or whatever he is or she is, because that's really in my mind what he is, a female sex organ. And he wants to get his act together. If his twisted mind of entertaining himself, being funny, is making threats to people online and hasn't got the guts to show himself, well, yeah, you come back again, mate, because I'll have it recorded and then you are in shit. Okay? Bring it on. Of course I cut you off whenever I want. You've got the balls or the stupidity to move in anything like that again. I will suss whether that is really you, because obviously on Facebook that's what they do. Warning. And this is to say there's a lot of this going on. Not only like that, people's warped idea of human being abusive and that, there's a lot of scam merchants, mainly women, and they do all this come on stuff and this chatting up, and then ridiculously either suggest, oh, I want to come and see you, can you send me 12,000 whatever dollars? What? And so maybe I should start reporting that, because we need to clean up Facebook. Certain spiritually evolved individuals are now chosen to use that as a means of a field of service, and we can't have assholes on there. People who've got no potential to actually grasp what the teachings and the teachings, I express plural, are about, because things are going to yeah, I've got a few songs coming in. Hard times going to come and a hard rain's going to fall. I don't think it's that. It's just a classic thing that's used to symbolise that we've come to a point as humanity of making a decision. You're either for me or against me. I don't know what song that is, but it's clearly saying, oh, Dylan, oh, hard train coming, slow train coming. Some brilliant teaching on that, right? Everybody's got to serve someone. You might be you're going to go through all these different ranks, but actually there's no one free from being a servant of anyone else or the people or the planet. Yeah, that's what he's putting in a very brilliant way. You know, you might be the president, but everything, but you got to serve somebody. Now, if you're not into that, right, you look at your life. Who do I serve? What am I serving other than my own ego? You better get your act together. Right? Yeah. Don't matter, you can go down to the local cat home. I mean, I was like that once. Didn't want to have nothing to do with humans. I thought they were all a bunch of wankers, cunts. Yeah. You can edit that out, but that's what I'm just sharing myself out. And I went to this workshop, male workshop thingy, you know, these sort of things that go on at Findorn. This is true. and they're all men, right? I was sitting in the TP. Oh, that's it. What man do you... That's the question to be asked. Right, name a man that you really admire. And so whatever pops off, and it came to me, and I just gave him a pregnant pause, and I said, well, no, you're all a bunch of cunts. That was my perspective on most men that I knew. Bunch of idiots, play football and all this crap. When things are hotting up. I'm putting up, I don't really want to go that because a lot of men like football and it's just a bit of harmless. Oh no, it isn't. Well, the amount of money that goes into this shite and the amount of money that's wasted, millions of pounds to just buy a footballer, and there's people starving in the world. Whoa. And they're young men retire, mind you, that's what we're reading, retire early and use the excuse, well, I've got to get all this money together because my career finishes at 30. Fuck off, you stupid. There's loads of things to be done in the world than you just kicking a ball about. I'm not quite in camera. And if you can't work out, then you better do so, mate, because I'm obviously speaking to, as if I'm speaking to one person. I can't say mates. It would be not correct grammar. That's been me, okay, and you could say, well, you're just, well, I am biased, yeah, I'm never like that. I've seen through it all, even at school. You know, the competitiveness, petty thing of, and it brings out the ego. Ooh, I can run faster than you, and the marathon came up at the school thing. One year, I just walked. Just casually walked out. Stopped, you know, and just went for a nice country walk for 5 miles. Well, oh yeah, right, that's it. Didn't do too well at school. Very much, you could say, a rebellious spirit, because if I didn't like a teacher because he was arrogant, okay, full of himself and that, I would wind him up. And one of the best wind-ups I found was just to look out the window, bored as shite. And eventually he blew his top because he's actually talking about it. Some stuff about you students are not really knackering down and that. And I thought, oh, fucking hell, not this shit again. So I did. Just looked out the window. Perfect wind up. And then he did. Clark! Oh, sorry. What to me? Couldn't hit you in those days. And didn't get the cane or anything. Oh, but it was. Oh, yeah, he threw me out of the class. Oh, this was the only O-level class I was in that I could have got some kind of certificate, and I would have thought such a decision as that is a bit more made over, and I was good at English. Brilliant. Creative mind, and we used to do a story, it's probably not called that, but writing a story, and you'd just be given a theme, and my mind, because I love movies, I always love trying to suss the plot out and this sort of thing. It's just a piddly thing, but it's a different. Oh, yeah, it's a lot more smaller, but obviously because photobooth is. But I've got a thing. I'm going to cut about 20 minutes, okay, around 15. So the school time was, and it's when I first started to move into psychosis. But I survived. I say survived. I never got caught by the net till well many years afterwards. And I'm not sure how I was. It comes in into how, you know, what was the first section and where was it? Well, I know going back to Leicester. Yes, that was where I was diagnosed. It must have been around there. Oh, interesting. I wasn't actually psychotic. Interesting. I was foolishly took up a joint tenancy with someone because I was homeless, and it was an old person I knew from the school days, and I'd never been to Leicester. It's not my path, if you follow me, or where, I grew up in a place called Gosford, Fareham, Stubbington, lovely little village, but in that area. And it was desperate. I needed to find a home and move. So his name came up, and I contacted him by letter, and blow me down if he wasn't desperately needing someone to share the council house with the big three, because they were threatening to evict him. That's happened a couple of times. I remember talked about Roger Winter. He had a lovely house in Vindle. He was admittedly an MP, but they were sort of, they didn't like this idea of one man having this house, and it's a family house. So, but he was advised by someone that, look, if you get a joint tenant in, that's you're okay, because he wanted to just travel about and things, and of course he couldn't do that. You wouldn't tolerate that, leaving a council house empty for 3 months, and he knew that he'd been out. So, sectioning, and it was an interesting experience. My first section, like I say, in Leicester, lovely food, people were very respectful, and the doctor was good, because like I say, I wrote on my jeans, but in reverse, so that when he saw, he could read it, if you follow me. I am a manic depressive, and I need lithium. So I was aware of what I probably had and what might help me and all the rest, because obviously we've all got to do that. Take responsibility for our own lives, and that includes if you have an illness. Don't just leave it to the doctors. It is your body, and so that's the approach I took. I found out as much as I could and read quite a thing, so I'd sussed out my own diagnosis, and I knew about the sorts of medication that I would have to take. Lithium, whatever. So I go in anyway, and he said yes. So that's good. It's very quick, and then he said, "Oh, we're going to discharge you now," and I said fine, and I went. Missed quite a potent bit actually. When I was actually diagnosed, and he had said, yes, I went sort of like this. You can't see it, but hands open, meaning, well, what do I do now then? Where do I go from here? And his response was, don't worry about that. It's like someone out a joke book, keep taking the tablets, because that's like a slang term that's put all around the mental health scene. Just keep taking the tablets. So that was a negative response on that context. There was no offer of any therapy, no mention of recovery. It was just, don't worry, just keep taking your tablets, and we'll send you to the nearest drop-in, and that'll be you. That's your day centre, and that's it. But having said that, this was a really good facility, and there was very much a personal touch that you had interviewed, and you were asked if there's anything particularly you'd like to do, and within reason, if they could fit it into the budget, you would. So one person might want to go to the cinema, that's his particular. One person might want to go bird watching. Any sort of hobby or thing you had, but you wanted to do it with someone other than just do it on your own. Brilliant. And so people were well allocated to their particular needs, and they were a young couple as well, very approachable and very helpful. Right, this is the nitty gritty. So yes, that is what happened. So right, it was to do with another, I can't use that name, but the individual I was sharing the house with was psychopathic. Whoa, and he would lose it, and he even threatened me with a knife. He wanted me out, and that's what happened. It came to a crunch. Not immediately, you get me, because I'm in hospital for a month. But then when I came out and tried to get access to my room, right, because I was still legally a joint tenant, he cleaned up all of my room, rolled the carpet up, shit on it. Oh yeah, that's ruined the carpet. You obviously urinate on it, and whatever. I mean, gets to there, it's just what a warped mind, you know. Childish mind as well. He was, you know, very immature for his age. And of course, because we had this, yes, it is playing his heavy metal deliberately loud to provoke me, right? And I just turned the power off. Obviously freaked him out a bit. I can't, I've got to watch, I don't give his name out. But anyway, so then I went up to his door. Yeah, it's hard because you can't really flow with that. You can't. Well, of course I can. James, or whatever, we'll just say that. James, it's me. All right, I'll turn the power back on. Can we talk? You know, because this can't go on like this. But it is his attempt, you see, to just get me out, drive me out, literally drive me out. And he then come to me, he was scared. See, he was scared. He thought I might attack him. Paranoid. Got a knife, right, and was threatening me with it, but scared, like I say. I said, Eddie, put the... Don't. See, you can't help. Whatever. He didn't, but he didn't attack me. And I walked away from that threatening experience. But then how do you think I felt? I can't live here with some nutter who's the slightest flinch is going to knife whatever. So I went back to the day centre, which is where I was going, and that's what I said. I said I need somewhere else to live by the end of the day. You know, I'm not going back to that house. And I told them it's an emergency, which it was, and they did. They had to pull a high hole in water. A lot of people have got all this bureaucracy and shit, you know. And, you know, these were trained people. I said, look, this person isn't lying to us. He's only just been discharged from hospital, you know what I mean? And this other guy had a recognised record of being a violent person. So, but anyway, touch wood. At the end of the day, and they did it all, bless them. They just said, well, you sit down, you have a cup of tea and have some food, and don't, you know, we deal with this. And they did. And they got me into a really nice therapeutic come community thing that was run by 2 social workers who slept in, not every night. You had your own room, which is all nice, and you were a group of people. And I think you did help to cook the meals, but you took it in turns, you know, it's just preparation or whatever. So you weren't just left to sort of do what you want to do, and, you know, that's what you're learning, contributing to the community. And that's a very modern facility as well. A long story short, the lady who was the head social worker, well, they're both really equal, was a very attractive lady with long dark hair, but really thought the sun shone out her backside, and also used to flaunt her sexual attraction to the other poor individuals in there, right? She got off on sort of teasing them, or, you know, I bet you'd like to fuck me, but you couldn't, right? Of course I turned right off. Don't like people like that, and I soon suss them out, right? False, ugly people, really ugly people in reality. And this is what happened. I did get high, but I made a decision I want to go back to Scotland. So I was up all night. I went on each person that I knew. I wrote them a personal goodbye letter, thanking them for, you know, helping me and being my friend, but saying I'm off to Scotland. And then at about 4 in the morning, very quietly, but that's what you're meant to do. That's the person that lives in is meant to be there to make sure, if you have got whatever, that, and respond to it in a positive way. So I knocked on her door and she said, yes, you know, can I talk to you, please? She didn't say F off, because I could say that to try and make it funny, no. But she just said no and was quite angry. So then I did leave. I'd done all my letters and that, and I left. I jumped the train. Whatever. I didn't have much money. And I got to Aberdeen. and now I'd gone quite high. So in jumping the train also it meant piddling about avoiding the ticket inspectors, but I got that sussed. I'd just joined a group of people, and he obviously knew, oh, I've been with him or whatever, but I didn't. He got past. If I'd have carried sitting on my own, he would have, go see your ticket. But he just assumed I was, and he had, and anyway, so I got away. When I got out on the station, that's a different matter, because you still got to show your ticket as you go out the station, so you can get off on the platform, but then you've got to do that. But that didn't worry me. That wasn't a thing that, if you like, triggered me or whatever. I was high, and I was starting to hallucinate. And I was so high, and I started to kick a football about, which I don't normally do. It's never something I'm interested in. Remember I shared that earlier. But there was a ball on the platform, and I was so high, so, oh, what's that doing here? So unsound, started to just dribble it like you do, and kicked it, and it went across the lines. Ooh, better get that back, it's not my ball. And so I started to go across the lines. They're live, it's an electric thing. So I caused absolute chaos. It just made the papers. Oh yeah. So the whole station was, because the power's turned off on the lines, no one could get in and no one could get out. But prior, spoilt it a bit, but anyway, no, but that was it. Two dark clad characters were walking towards me, slowly but not thick, and I shouted out to them, "Are you Hell's Angels?" Didn't respond. Had they said no, I wouldn't have ran, we're policemen. But they didn't. And then I bolted, literally for my life, And I did, I legged it all the way down the line till I got to a gap. Imagine there's a fence, got through the gap, and there was a police car. That's the funny bit. "Oh, thank you." I said, "Thank God I found you." I said, "There's two Hell's Angels after me." See, it is like that. I see policemen. I wasn't considered them a threat, right? And so I did get in the car. They just tuned. I said, "Well, you better come with us." So I wasn't handcuffed. There's no, this guy's obviously not well, but we've got to get hold of him. So they did that well, and I ended up in the police cells. And I'm whacked in front of the. I've gone dark, so I don't know. Oh no, you may have. It's actually the screen, but yeah. I think I've got an energy saver or whatever. I'm watching the time. Yeah, it's actually 27 minutes. So I'll just finish this story and I'm on. Right. So I'm taken back to the police station, and in the cell, and then a professor of psychiatry comes down to interview me in the room. Right. And this is prior to me going into court, because technically I've been charged with breach of the peace, right? That's a standing, £200 fine and all this. But of course the railway police realised that it wasn't just that, they realised I was high or whatever. And so hence he was brought in. Then I went into the court. It was a bit funny, I suppose, because he obviously introduced himself, said that, and he was going to speak for me. So I didn't need a brief, because that was the idea. He was going to say this person's mentally ill, and I'm going to take him into my charge for a month. Right? And as long as the fiscal agree, which he did, but whatever, that's okay. It saved me from actually getting an official charge. That was all dropped. Breach of the peace obviously was. And it was good, actually. I was a lovely month in this hospital. He was training other young people to be, if you like, psychiatric nurses or assistants, and had a little Neil breakdown, but whatever, lost it a bit, but they were well trained. They just stood back, and I just calmed down. That's okay. So I'm there for a month. I leave it. And I come back. This is a bit. I was flown back. Because you couldn't stick you on a train, and they couldn't go down with the car with you. again, you see, I'm not technically sectioned anymore, but obviously I've got to get home. But when I get back to Leicester, I'm met obviously by nurses and that in a car, but instead of being taken back to this centre, oh yeah, because I could have reported this lassie. When it came out that, oh, he wanted to see you because he was going through a bit of a crisis and you just didn't be bothered, I think that would have been the end of her career. So I lied and whatever she said, because I'm ending up back in the hospital again. And that has to, then I have to sit around while they're finding me a flat, because I don't need to be in the hospital, but I'm homeless, and so I was waiting around. And then they put, and this is a go through the council, said I've got a history of drug abuse, blah 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 blah, and obviously I've got a thing, but I was stuck in one of the most shittiest streets in Leicester where all the drug dealing went on. And this is nasty. I mean, when I'm talking about LSD, that isn't a drug, right? No, this was the nasty stuff: speed, amphetamine, that ilk of chemicals or drugs. And so I had, the scene was I'd be sat in my little front room, and right outside my front window there was sat on my wall, because it was like a cul-de-sac, there was no cars, it was, yeah, but, and so then wow, yeah, this is no good, I can't stay here, you know, so I put that out, you know, help me, got, you know, literally rescue. It was like I had nowhere else to go and no idea where I could go. And that, I'll end on this shit, is how I met a Jesus Fellowship. They were ministering in Leicester, and I invited the guy in, and he came in. I told him my whole story. I said, well, yeah, I do want to move from here. He said, well, we can take you back to our church. He explained, you know, it's a Christian church and that, and whatever. You're more than welcome, and we can sort things out here for you, because the measure, you know. And they did. They came down with a van, and I informed the necessary social work department and the psychiatric department that I was moving, and I was going to live with this church, and so they knew, and I did. Brilliant. And that's how I joined the Jesus Fellowship Church. So they are what they say they are on the can. They do reach out to desperate people, or the down and outs, or the lower faction of society, the salt of the earth. And they do put themselves at a bit of risk of abuse and that, and they wear an army uniform. It is like a young person's Salvation Army. They're mainly younger, there is some older folk, but whatever. And that's how I got my name, Lifebringer. It's a virtue name, because I had a ceremony, because there's too many people with Clark, and they said, well, would you like to take part in this, and we give you a new surname, and then to help people to know who you are, because there's a lot of Clarks, you know. So I said yes, and again, I'm going to be quick, that's all right. And so I ended up getting the virtue name of Lifebringer. And then when I joined the Findorn Foundation, I say joined, I did leave the Jesus Fellowship Church, and that was to do with because I wanted to get married, and the elders lied to me and implied the lady I'd chosen wasn't interested, but she was, because I actually met her. I was the tapes deacon, recorded all the ministry, the baptisms and that was provided for people who are ill and couldn't make it to the church. And the church consisted of well over 1,000 people, and it's what we call a house church movement, so people lived in houses. They were following the scriptural injunction of Acts, because apparently the first Christians lived in community. Bit different now, isn't it? And so they shared, they had the common purse. So although you were earning money, whether you were a doctor or what, it was all put back into the church, and you had your meal, everything provided. They had their own shop, so if you needed clothes, we were obviously living at, well, cost. It was a shop technically, So they got everything at trade price. So if you wanted a jacket or anything, it's all there. And of course it's a cheaper way of doing it. Perfectly legal. But so the community had its own shop. And if the people worked there, they would get a salary. Of course it goes back into the church. But yeah, incredible system. What can I say? Yeah, I mean it's an alternative. For many people though, I think going back to the reappearance of the Christ, that is a faction I've been working with for years, right? Because the Lucis stuff teaches this, and you learn about triangles, you learn about the Great Invocation, and it's been an impetus for me, because the invocation says, you know, may Christ return to earth. And the way I saw it, yes, if this happens, and it is going to happen, it's going to greatly solve a lot of things, because the Christ is the teacher of angels and men. So it's a new dispensation. The Buddha wasn't considered a teacher of angels and men. Krishna wasn't considered a teacher of angels and men. Get it? Each avataric appearance or happening, however you want to call it, because a lot of people say that they reappear, they've never died, but they, right, there's a new bit added on to what they can do or what they're about, and that is the new bit, if you like, for the new next coming Christ. So even the angelic kingdom, although I say they're free, the Christ will be teaching to help their growth and evolution. And as it's said in the scriptures, Jesus then, I'm not going to get the number mixed up, but quite a few thousand personal angels to oversee his protection, you know, meet his needs on that level, right? Why am I sharing this, Graham? You might be thinking. This evening I received a nasty, threatening messenger message. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's not an email, but this is nasty. Probably someone's warped idea of a joke, not mine. I want to kill you. I want to destroy your private parts. And this message came, initially this was a woman on Facebook, but then the person came back and he did all the thing in big letters, right? I am an American policeman. Well, my reaction was, you know, that's not going to put me off, mate. It's been reported to Facebook, but unfortunately they cut me off because they're worried if I go on live. Oh yeah, and of course I'll be moving in the spirit. If anyone knows anybody, you know, President Trump, I think I'd like to inform him here, because I'm afraid if people like this are political, we not, you see, but you move in the spirit, whatever you feel needs to be said. So that was curtailed, hence I'm on here. I've calmed down, as you can see. I was calm anyway, but I did feel at the time that's the appropriate way to respond to Facebook. Yes, please can this person be blocked, and I'd like it reported to the police, because threatening behaviour is a criminal offence. And so he, if it is, was, or it still is he, has lost his access to Facebook. Probably doesn't matter, because it's negative, I know, but I'm sure a lot of people know there's a lot of scam merchants on Facebook. Generally, as I've come across, women. So they put this lovely sexy photograph on and they suck men in, and they're not that. They're probably some pretty, well, I'd say, screwed up individual. And they get you in this conversation, where you're living and all this. Oh, alright, yeah. I'm in Scotland and they're supposedly in America. And then comes the crunch line, asking for quite large sums of money on some trumped up thing of mother could be ill and all this. Now my response is, which I told her politely, I said no, but I said all my money isn't really mine, and I have to go through the my angels for anything like that. You know, I'm going to spend a large sum of money. and of course I can use my pendulum. You know, should I buy this? And I get a yes or a no, because I'm on a very tight budget. That's going round. I'm just 40, so a bit quick. Round the circle. I am, and I hope I can get to post this, but I can soon do it again. I'm at the stage where I'm looking for work, but work as a comedian. I think I've got a natural ability, and if anyone watching this has found them funny, and can anyway help with that, you start off at whatever level, whether it's a pub gig or expenses only and then a cut of the take. I mean, I know it sounds a bit hippish, but of course you've got to start low, and if you do get some kind of recognition, maybe move a bit higher. But I still want to do all this pyramid work, and that, you see, that's the priority. Also, I won't get sucked into someone saying, well, we can give you a year's contract and that. No, I just now at this moment in time need money just to get to Bosnia, you know, one step at a time. I have got some things I can sell. I'm just over 40 minutes. I'm going to cut this off. I will obviously be doing another video, and if it feels right in the spirit, we'll put out various items that I'd like to sell. You know, and these are generally musical items, PA equipment, a synthesizer. That's quite a thing. You know, it's a cool Triton. It's got a stool with it. You know, it's really well, a stand, proper nice stand, and a really nice proper case, and a Roland proper keyboard amp, the best. You know, it's stereo. So whoever got it would get a complete system. You know, not just a keyboard, a stand, a stool, and like I say, a proper little PA amp, because I'm not using it and haven't. So I'm going to leave you, friends. I've got to. It isn't a problem. This will take a long time. Red. I've got it right near the end. You see this thing. So bye for now.